doctor said after that long battle, said, get out there again and you whack 2 in, put 2 in, because, you know, Usyk didn't like it downstairs. No one likes it downstairs.
This is Jonathan Agger, Fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by trainer Mark Tibbs. Mark, how's everything been going?
Yeah, everything's going well. Thanks, Jonathan. Good to see and hear from you. I was fortunate enough after Johnny Fisher's successful Southern Area title fight on the AJ card a couple of weeks ago that I had a couple of days in Spain with my 8-year-old son and my wife. So yeah, it was well needed.
Yeah, you've had a busy year, so that's good to hear. Let's start with Johnny Fisher then. It was an interesting fight and a great win for him. Just talk me through how you thought he performed to win that belt.
Do you know what, Jonathan? He absolutely performed out of his skin. He was on point with everything. He's always great in camp, but, you know, he's maturing and learning as he goes. Unsure about certain things as he's gone, but total trust in the process in this time. And in the corner, he was phenomenal to work with. He was a true professional, and I couldn't fault him. Only that big right hand that he was giving away a lot, but it done some damage and caused a bit of havoc at first, and that's what we wanted to do. And the game plan he pulled off to a T. Brilliant. So proud of him. Very proud of him.
I mean, you know, going forward, is it a case of just taking your time with Johnny, or do you want to see him, you know, move on to English as soon as possible?
Well, listen, look, when you say take his time and English titles, you know, they're literally round the corner. Why not? But still got to take your time with Johnny because, I mean, he will grow. He will grow so much from that win, that victory, because, you know, he nearly got it done in the first round. I never expected Johnny to get it done in the first round, but I said, stick it on Armstrong, stick it on him, but don't empty your tank, and then get behind the jabs, solid, sharp and hard jabs. Because he ain't a bad boxer, and he come to win, Armstrong. And he did come to win and all. We stood and traded with Johnny, and but Johnny just beat him to the punch and put some phenomenal body shots in. Armstrong put some great body shots in, and Johnny absolutely matched him with them. He's never done that in the gym to this day. So you could say he was learning on the job as well. Yeah, you've done brilliant job.
And then
but where do we go? Where do we go next with that? S-Jam and ourselves we'll have a chat, I'm sure. And his promoter, Eddie Hearn, and I'm sure they'll have a good plan for him as they've done so far.
Moving on to another S-Jam fighter, Tommy Fletcher. I saw him in Las Vegas. He was working with Joe Joyce. So I'm guessing that's great experience for him ahead of his return on Joyce's card. Yeah,
no, Tommy's another phenomenal prospect. He's not quite where Johnny is just yet, but he's 21. Johnny's 24. Not far though. He's a fantastic puncher, Tommy. And as I've said before, but he's got that IQ about him. Man can punch, and he's got to be brought along. And he's fighting on the Joyce card. Had some great experience out there with Joe Joyce, and from what I see and hear of things, he done really, really well over there, and it's only going to add flavour to his game and to his seasoning, to his pedigree. But he just done some good rounds with Jordan Thompson yesterday.
Okay,
We've done some really good rounds with Jordan Thompson, and I set that up while I was on the holidays, while I was in Spain. And I think now it's time for him to step it up sparring-wise. Not all the time, but sometimes. And he went and done a good 8 rounds yesterday. So I was over the moon with Tommy. And we've got a little bit more throughout the week with Jordan Thompson, who's fighting for the world title. Yeah, cruiserweight world title. So good for him. And Tommy's come along really nice, and I look forward to him fighting on that Joyce card. Yeah, Joyce Zhang 2.
The rematch, yeah. And
BT Sport.
TNT, actually. But...
TNT, correct. My son keeps correcting me on that.
TNT, where'd that come from? Yeah, I don't know. It's still hard to adjust to
Yeah,
that.
it is.
John Hedges, what's the latest with him?
Johnny Hedges, my man. Well, yesterday I had to take Tommy to the Metron gym with Jordan Thompson, and John's just not long got over of a hand operation, and he wanted to start punching. So I said, right, you're coming with me. So he come to see Tom and Jordan spar, but I think, you know, if the right times, he might be able to nick a little bit at the end of camp, Jordan's camp, that is. Being a southpaw, Jordan wants southpaw sparring, so I'm hoping his hand will be well and he can nick a bit in a couple of weeks' time. We'll see. But it was lovely to start paddling him. I started to paddle with him, not pads yet. Started to paddle with him yesterday, and he's like a Ferrari, John. He just, oh mate, he's you know, listen, he's on fire. He could fight tomorrow. But you know, there is a process, because discipline and getting in condition. He's not in bad condition, but he's not in tip-top fighting condition as we want him. You know what I mean? So he ain't fighting till November. So okay. Yeah.
And Elle Brooke looks like she's having a bit of a break at the moment after a busy year. Do you think she's going to come back towards the end of the year?
Well, Elle's had a month off in America. She went to America for a little break, a holiday. She's in the gym now. She's in the gym, ticking over. She likes to be around the fight business and boxing, and you know, she's part of the gym now. And for her well-being and her mental health, she likes the lifestyle. Yeah. So she's been in the gym a couple of days, and tell you what, she won't take long to get fit and ready. But the more she's in and around boxing, the more seasoning she will get if she wants to continue to fight. I don't know what she wants to do, but at the minute she's just looking after her well-being. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might get a sparring in a couple of weeks' time though. I've got someone in mind, and it'd be good to see her when there's no pressure on her, because she was in a really big fight in Ireland, as you know, against a really big girl that was probably out of her weight class. But we knew as we went along and got nearer to the final in this competition that, you know, it's going to be difficult. I mean, I had every bit of belief that she cracked this girl called Julie. She cracked her. You got to crack her again and again, because, you know, no one's very experienced in that business. And if you get cracked a couple of times, you can, you know, it comes sometimes wilt. And what's his name? What's her name? Elle was struggling from the first round with the size of this girl. I didn't know how she got through to the bloody fifth round, but she did, and that's because she's got she's made of good stuff. Yeah.
And fight week for yourself this week. Just tell us about Joel Bartel, a new guy you've been working with for a few months. Yeah, just tell us who he's fighting this week.
Yeah, well, Joe Bartell, he was down to fight a guy with a winning record, but that fell through for some reason or another. I can't think of his name, but he had a good record, and we fought good guys so far with good records. And his last one was kind of 50-50, to the truth. And we want to keep on that if we can. But where he's on these small promotions, getting him an opponent is proving a little bit tricky, because of I think they smell that he can fight, and he can fight. And so one of his guys is one of his opponents just pulled out. Not one, the opponent that we was happy with, who had a good winning record, is withdrawn from the fight for some reason or other. Richard Maynard, his manager, has been on the phone to me today. He's got someone else. You know, it's not sort of what I wanted, but something's better than nothing. But you know, we're still looking. Basically, we're still looking. But he's fighting Friday. He sold a lot of tickets at York Hall on Saturday night, and on the TM14 show. So yeah, but Joe's a good fighter. He's a really good fighter. He's been in the gym with me today. He was over the Matchroom gym with me yesterday, and but he's finished. He's made weight. He's not made weight, but he's tapering down now. Yeah.
Mark, just want to ask you your thoughts on Saturday night in Poland. Oleksandr Usyk stopping Daniel Dubois. First of all, what did you make of all this controversy surrounding the low blow? What's your view on it all?
Well, I'm going to say, as I see it, I thought it was a good shot. Yeah, from Daniel. Yeah, I expected Daniel to get beat. Yeah, and Oleksandr Usyk is one hell of a boxer. He's a beautiful boxer and a very clever guy. But I did say he had a puncher's chance, and that's all he had was Daniel. And I thought that was a good body shot, a very good body shot. I mean, if my fighter threw body shots like that, he set it up and all, showed the jab, feinted the jab. I'd like to have Daniel to put the jab a little bit higher to take Usyk's hands up a bit more. But he put it in mid range. He put it in his chest, I think, and then went whack downstairs as you saw. I thought it was a good shot.
So did you understand a lot of the debate afterwards, where there were certain people saying that it was it was too low and things like that, and then other people like yourself and others saying that it was fine, it was where it needed to be? I mean, where's this debate come from? Because I've never seen so many differing opinions.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I before I had this conversation with you, I had to look up the word solar plex
Yeah.
because I always tell my boys, whack that in the solar plex, whack it dead center if you can. Yeah. Anyway, so I looked at the word solar plex, and the solar plex is a little bit higher than I imagined, but that for me was still a good shot. That was a great body shot. Let me tell you something. If I was in Daniel Dubois' corner, I would have said after that long battle, I said, get out there again and you whack two in, put two in, because Usyk didn't like it downstairs. No one likes it downstairs because the downstairs shots can switch you off as much as the whiskers shot, the chin shots. But listen, Daniel done well. I thought he done well. He done better than I thought he would. And listen, Oleksandr Usyk on his home turf, he owns that building. He owns that show. He owns the people, who are, in charge. Not literally, but if you get what I'm saying. So he's on a foreign territory, and it's a difficult task to overdone that. But if I was in Daniel's corner, that would have rolled me up, and I would have made him go out there like a ball, stuck that elbow in the chest, boil up, took the street to him, because that would have fueled me even more, because I know it could be hurt. Do you get me? Yeah, and the thing was, so I was a little excited because I thought that was a good shot. But listen, look, everyone says, some people say it weren't. I says it was, and a lot of them trainers, if their boxers whacked that body shot in against their opponents, I'm sure they would say it was a good shot too.
So do you think?
Listen, look.
Yeah.
High shorts, low shorts. Yeah. When we boxed years ago, and a lot of boxers, sensible boxers, wear their shorts high. Yeah. Right. Wear their shorts high. A lot of modern day boxers wear their shorts low on their belly button, just below their belly button. Modern day fighters, like young kids today, they pushing their shorts down lower, and this is what they like. You know what I mean? It's the street style, isn't it? But a lot of boxers pull them up a bit higher above their belly button. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, there is it's gonna get me looking at the rules a little bit more, I guess. Yeah, for sure.
Because how does it work? I mean, I know you guys get told in the dressing room and stuff like that, and it's normally, just before the fighters fight, the referee will say where is all right and stuff. So when do you get told that have that conversation? Is it in the rules meeting or in the dressing room before?
Yeah, in a big fight like that, you have your rules meetings, and it would have took place there and in the dressing room. And but fighters wear their shorts, as I say, where they want to wear their shorts. And Oleksandr Usyk, he's like an old school, but although he's a modern day proper slickster, he wears his shorts, pretty high. So referee and people in charge would have to use their discretion, to what's low. You know what I mean?
Just finally, what's your prediction for Eubank Smith rematch on Saturday?
Do you know what? It's all a guess. It's all a guess because I've not kept up with stuff. I've had my own bits and pieces going on. Is it Saturday?
Yeah, this Saturday in
Yeah,
Manchester.
I did say
Yeah.
to the guys in the gym, it's we've got the fight to look forward to this Saturday. Do you know what? I fancy Smith again. Well, I'll be truthful with you. I didn't fancy Smith before. Yeah, and when I see what he did to him, should have known. It's just boxing's in his blood, and I think if Chris Eubank Jr. would have listened to his coaches many moons ago, he'd been a different fighter and probably world champion today. That's all I've said. I've said that for years anyway.
Mark, always a pleasure. Hopefully catch up with you soon at one of the fights, and appreciate your time as always.
Thanks, Jonathan. All the best, my man. Take care. Speak soon.